last episode, Kaito took yet another stab at attempting to get the final flag unlocked for obtaining the report number 6 geotag annotation, wherever it may be. Unfortunately, Airi seems to be deteriorating a little bit more each day, which is very disheartening for Kaito, as a light bulb has gone up in his head. Without Airi and Sister Centipede to help confirm whether or not he has achieved the flag, he's not entirely sure whether or not he can clear the flag without said confirmation. And even if that were the case, it's still a matter of finding where report number 6 could be on Tanegashima Island. And even if he found it, he needs Airi and Sister Centipede to download the flag conditions for report number 7. Otherwise, without that, his chances of getting the final report are pretty non-existent if we can't fix Airi. Now, there is a slight chance, a very slim margin, that it's only slightly possible that Airi might be fixed if the IIUO maintenance were to go through on December 24th, but unfortunately Frau seems to reckon that there's a very good chance that Airi would most likely be erased, or if she were updated, her memory and her experiences might be reformatted. A clean slate, if you will, and that is also a bad thing for Kaito. But right now there's nothing really much you can do in class. With only 2 months before graduation, is there any point to making us seniors study? Probably not, but I'm pretty sure the faculty is determined to pump as much academia into their departing students as possible. Especially Usui. I'm sitting in math class right now, dozing off to Mori-sensei talking about differential calculus or whatever. Very well said. The exam takers are taking remedial classes in a separate classroom. As for the remaining 60% of students, they're either getting a job or going into specialized education. In other words, their career paths are decided. Which is more than what you can say, Kaito. Nobody's paying attention. They're sneakily gaming on their Pokecoms or passing around manga. Mori-sensei doesn't care. It's crazy how relaxed the classroom's vibe is now that the exam takers are gone. It's like, well, their job is done. By the way, the reason that Akio and I are here is because Akio declared that we won't graduate until the expo is over. A very bold declaration for you there, Akio. Starting in February, the expo runs for about 6 months. Koba-sen didn't see this coming at all and finally caved. I wonder how Usui feels about all of this. So it looks like Akio and I are going to graduate without having chosen our career paths. We are some seriously shitty students. Preaching the choir on that one, actually. Even though nobody's listening, the room is quiet, allowing Mori-sensei's voice to echo like a sutra. The windows are shut, but the winter sunshine is warm. Combined with the surfing in the morning, makes me sleepy. Very sleepy. I can't help myself as I put my head down on my desk. It's not a pillow, but a desk will do, and close my eyes. If I don't rest now, I risk having an attack. Caring for my body is priority numero uno right now. Of course it is. I've had to push myself to the limit thanks to the sadistic Kimijima, the dead sadist. But I have to make sure I don't cross that line. My consciousness fades. But just as I'm about to succumb to the comfort of the hard disk and fall asleep, probably should have shut off the Pokecom, Kaito.
Huh?
I snap awake. Everyone, including the teacher, is confused. Yeah, probably shouldn't be live streaming in class. Ah, of course, it's not just Kaito. I keep forgetting that. Airi is bound to IUO. That pretty much means that she can appear on anywhere that has that app installed. But the fact that she's doing so now blatantly in her current condition is a very worrying sign. One of my classmates, Mihama-kun, goes pale as he gazes at his Pokecom. It's as if no one has heard about what artificial intelligences are in this day and age of all things. I quickly boot up IUO and look over toward him only to see Airi standing in his desk. A lost look on her face. Well, technically she's standing on his desk, not in his desk, even though she could do that because she's actually incorporeal since he's a digital construct, but I digress. Also due to the weird design quirk that she has, she can't actually see the classroom because she's indoors, even though that technically kind of makes no sense because she could use the camera to I think Airi is somewhat broken. I think Airi is somewhat broken because her body is moving. Her body is moving just fine. Oh, there we go. There's some hair movement. I think she might be glitching out, which in all fairness is probably definitely what is happening right now. It wouldn't be a surprise for her actual avatar to start freaking out, clipping and everything. Oh, you people. Freaking people. Seriously, have you never heard of an AI? Once quiet and peaceful classroom is thrown into chaos. Mori-sensei, too old to do anything, is incapable of calming the situation down. Corrections aside, Airi's presence being exposed to the other students is, unfortunately something we can't, yeah, we shouldn't have had to deal with right now, but unfortunately it's too late for that. After making eye contact with Akio, the two of us dash out of the room. Oh, bye.
Airi, koi!
I called her from the hallway, hoping that she actually reacts this time. I doubt it, Kaito. Considering how well she listened to you, I don't know if she can see me since we're indoors. You should already know the answer to that question, Kaito. Well, I would like to say that the fact that she responded is a good thing, but then again, Airi comes bouncing out into the hallway, slipping through the wall. Who needs doors? She then immediately looks around.
お姉ちゃん、どこですか?
Well, at least she finally remembers who Kaito is now. That's probably not going to last. I figured as much. She can't see me because we're indoors.
どうしてお父さんとお母さんは愛理のところに来てくれないんでしょう?
Why is Airi talking about parents all of a sudden? Technical glitches aside. I mean, she can't be referring to Kimijima because she always referred to him as master, not father, even though he is the one who ultimately created her and designed her and everything. This is very peculiar. Mother and dad. What is she going on about? Isn't Kimijima technically her dad?
ヤシオのやつ、幽霊を手なずけてるぞ。
Be quiet, Mihama.
っていうか、その女幽霊何なんだよ、おい。
You people are too superstitious for your own good. The classroom is still in chaos. This is going to get even more messy. We need to go. Now. Outside. Don't care if we're skipping class.
アイリちゃん、俺の声についてきて。
I decide to head outside so that Airi can see again. This is probably the only spot where I can avoid other people during class, unless somebody happens to be wandering around, in which case we're out of luck. I sit on the seat of my scooter and take a deep breath.
やってくれたね、アイリちゃん。
She's looking in different directions. She can hear me properly, right?
これで明日には俺は幽霊を連れ歩く男っていうありがたい称号を与えられてることだろうよ。
I don't think she's entirely paying attention.
それにしてもまさかあんな現れ方をするとはね。
If there were any way to repair her, we could, but that's beyond our expertise.
こうなるともう誰彼構わずじゃない。これまではさ、基本的に俺にしか積極的に話しかけてこなかったでしょ。愛理ちゃんが空気読んでくれてたおかげで特に騒ぎにならなかったけど、さっきみたいに見境なく全方位攻撃を始めるっていうならちょっと考えないとな。いっそ愛理ちゃんの正体を学校の生徒全員に明かしちゃうべきかも。
I think Airi has already done that, Kaito. I think your threat has no value.
その方が混乱しないだろうし。
Actually, they probably react the same way as the class did.
聞いてる？
Airi stares up at the sky, a vacant expression on her face. I'm gonna take that as a no.
愛理ちゃん？
Looks like she's still wishing for that snowy Christmas sky.
お父さんは愛理を置いていなくなってしまいました。
Maybe she is referring to Ko after all.
お母さんは愛理が置いていきました。愛理はお母さんを悲しませたくなかったからです。
But if that's the case, then who is mother in this context?
どうしてお父さんとお母さんは愛理に会いに来てくれないんでしょう。
わかりやすく説明してくれたら俺にも答えられるかもね。
Part of me has a hunch, but I'm hesitant to actually speak my mind out loud. I wonder why. Seeing Airi like this hurts, especially since we need her help to get the rest of the Kimijima reports. It's like I can't stand seeing her act this way. Maybe it's because she looks like she's starting to break down. She probably is breaking down, and not just in a mental way. In fact, I'd say that that's definitely the case. After school, I head to the usual beach. Akio tried to talk me out of it, but now's not the time to be hanging out at the Robotics Club. This is serious business. The path leading to the beach is half covered in sand. If I tried to pass through here with my scooter, it'd probably get jammed up really quickly. Yeah, don't want to get sand in your tires. So I park it a little ways away from the beach and walk it the rest of the way. Sorry, walk the rest of the way, not walk the scooter. Because that would be silly.
マスターはそれはもうすごい人だったんです。とってもすごかったんです。
She was referring to him after all. I made the mistake of checking in on Airi before getting to the beach. As soon as I called for her, she started rambling. She hasn't stopped.
色男のプログラマーとして今ではちょっとだけ有名になっていますね。
Maybe we might finally learn things about Kimijima after all. Because if she is breaking down, then maybe her safeguards will finally be temporarily unlocked. Kinda. Is that her idea of a compliment?
でも実はマスターはプログラマーという枠には収まらない人でした。
Let's see now.
とってもマルチな才能があったんです。とにかく何でも作ったんですよ。全部自分でやっちゃいますので、誰かに手伝ってもらうのを嫌がったぐらいです。
Recluse the end, huh?
この島に来たのも誰にも邪魔されずに済むからだって言っていました。
No one, which would also include the Committee of 300.
マスターの研究施設に入れたのはなんとですね、およそ2年間で愛理と美咲の2人だけだったんですよ。
And once again, my intuition and hunches served me well. It had to be Misaki Senomiya. The only person who ever truly interacted with Kimijima. Of course it would be. Once again, I was right. A lab, eh? So Airi thinks of Misaki as a mother, not just a sister, not just somebody to talk to.
その施設ってこの島のどこにあったの？
Couldn't possibly be that old community center, even though that's where that EGI device is being stored.
内緒です。
So even in her deteriorating condition, she still has some safeguards. That's probably for the best.
スターに口止めされてるんです。家を教えちゃダメだよって。
Well, it's a very interesting turn of phrase. Maybe Airi's safeguards aren't nearly as secure as I thought, because even though she's clearly said she's not going to reveal the location of his lab, the fact that she's mentioned that he has a house is a very glaring detail there.
マスターは自分で野菜を作ったりもしていましたよ。
That is
お
multi-talented.
肉は食べませんでした。
Really now?
とにかく仙人みたいな生活をしていたんです。
Maybe that's why he created Airi. Perhaps.
君島公ってロリコンかな。
マスターはアイリにとても優しかったですよ。
Airi still thinks very highly of him.
でもここだけの話ですけど、アイリもお兄ちゃんと同じ意見です。 マスターはロリコンだって自分で言ってました。
So Kaito isn't the only big brother in Airi's life. And just like that, my impression of Kimijima is flipped on its head. I saw him as a serious and reserved, tragic genius who was trying to reveal the truth to the world despite the odds. That was the image in my head, anyway. I guess I was totally wrong, which then once again leads credence or lends rise to the question: who in the hell is or was Kimijima?
そう、ロリコンなんだ。
I feel a vague sense of camaraderie with the man, as well as overwhelming disappointment. Only human, I guess. Totally dancing over the fact that he was murdered. Yeah, totally ignoring that detail. Of course, this is all just hearsay. Airi could very well be just joking. No reason to take her too seriously. Walking toward the beach, I see Mizuka-san already standing by at the usual spot.
お待たせ、水香さん。
We're doing this again. How many attempts has this been now? Mizuka-san glances not at me but at Airi, who's floating along next to me. She's not even walking anymore. She's just levitating. Mizuka-san doesn't own a Pokecom, so she shouldn't be able to see her. Does he sense her presence?
方針転換するよ。
Looks like a change of
Hi.
tact. I tilt my head like an idiot in response to her words.
サーフィン経験者のサガってもんがさ、今まで私の中で邪魔してたのかもしれないってね、気づいたのさ。
It's very bold of you to say.
結局、カイに教えるってなった時、私はベストを目指しちゃったんだよ。 会の目的ってもんを見誤ってた。
Indeed, because, Kaito's not looking to be a champion surfer. He only has to ride the top of a wave for 3 seconds on that specific surfboard. No more, no less.
理由は知りたくもないけど、あんたは
Looks like the gears are finally turning in Mizuka's head. She's realizing Kaito's idiosyncrasies.
3秒以上波乗りできさえすればそれでいい。そうだろ？
I reply with a nod. Won't go too much into the details. At least Mizuka
とにかく
understands.
その3秒をしのぎさえすりゃいい。これからもずっとサーフィンを続けていくつもりはさらさらないってわけさ。
She's finally realized it.
それを真っ先に頭に叩き込んどくべきだったよ。
But then again, it's been a long time since you've been involved with a surfing club, and sadly, with your injury, you can't surf yourself anymore, which is a shame.
サーフィン部で後輩を指導するのとはわけが違うってね。
Indeed, it isn't.
そういうことならむしろいい波よりも張り合いのない波でテイクオフすりゃ済む話なんだ。わ
Yeah,
かるだろ？
doesn't matter which wave as long as Kaito can ride it in 3 seconds.
難易度の低い波でなんとかしようってことでしょ。
Mizuka-san nods and squints at the ocean.
そうさね。せいぜい膝ぐらいでいい。
And again, Kaito's balance leaves a lot to be desired.
膝ぐらいの高さの波っていうこと？
ああ、今までは肩ぐらいの高さの波にライドすることを考えてた。
Yeah, that's too much, especially for Kaito.
どんなスパルタ教育してでも完璧なライドをさせてやろうって意気込んでもいたよ。
Yeah, Kaito's not that good when it comes to
でもそ
surfing.
れくらいの高さになるといきなり初心者が挑むにはきついからね。
Virtually impossible for Kaito.
そういうことは初日に言ってくれないかな、水香さん。
カイがここまでポテンシャルの低い男だとは思わなかったって私も言ったろ。
Low potential and the potential for triggering a slow-mo attack.
そこまでひどい言われ方したっけ？
Even though it's the truth.
それでも意地になっちまったのさ、私が。
Indeed you did. Mizuka-san smiles lonesomely and looks down at her own legs.
自分がもう乗れないからって。私が昔やってた頃のあの気持ちをカイにも感じてほしかったのかもね。
Nostalgia. That was then and this is now.
それは気持ちの押し付けだろって気づいたのがつい昨日だった。そういうことさ。回り道も人生って言うし、どうせ暇なんだから別にいいだろ、受験生。
Mr. Senior, that's a good one.
暇ってわけじゃないんだけどね。
Even though she does have a point, Kaito.
水香さん、俺がサーフィン教えてって言い出した理由聞かないわけ？
I feel like we're going to go down unwanted territory if we push this too far, Kaito.
あえて聞いてないんだよ。カイのことが気に食わないんでね。
I have. Yeah. But not for the reasons you think. Yikes, but I guess it's also my fault for not telling her the truth.
何が気に食わないって。最近のカイが秋をほったらかしにしてアイリと一緒にいるってことさ。
Well, there's a reason for that. Speaking of which, we should probably tell her about that part too, Kaito.
水香さんって愛梨ちゃんのこと嫌いなの？
Zuka-san doesn't answer. But that in and of itself is the answer.
水香さんには一応教えとくよ。愛梨ちゃん、もしかするとあと1週間くらいで記憶のリセットかデータそのものが消えちゃう可能性があるんだよね。
Glossing over the important issue at hand here.
愛梨ちゃんとは古い知り合いなんでしょ？この前わざわざミッチーを付き合わせて会いに行ったぐらいだもんね。
だから何さ？
水香さんも仲直りするなら今のうちだよ。
In all fairness, it's probably because Mizuko's jealous of Airi's connection to Misaki. Mizuka-san sneers with an exhausted look on her face.
お友達ごっこかい？若いね。
I feel that there's more to that statement than you're letting on, Mizuka.
そういう年寄りじみたこと言ってると根気逃すと。
I think now is the I think you've done it now, Kaito. A bottle full of warm water comes flying at me. She launched the damn thing at me without even using her HUG. In the face of her insane power, I immediately regret my words and actions. Yeah, just because her legs are damaged doesn't mean that she doesn't have full upper body strength, Kaito. She still has full use of her arms. Zuka-san then lowers her shoulders and heads towards her car.
今日は練習は？
風がない。大した波は来ないから今日はなし。
あ、そう。
That's a shame. Sucks when weather totally dictates your entire day. Screws up your rhythm. If only we had somebody who was interested in the weather forecast. Ha ha ha. Ha ha. God damn it. I wonder if I'm going to be able to get report number 6 and 7 before Airi disappears, or is broken beyond repair. If only. Location unknown. Everything is unknown.
待ち焦がれているんです。その日がやってくるのを。毎朝そのベッドで目を覚まして、私が最初にやることは今日の天気予報をお伝えします。鹿児島県種子島屋久島地方、今日のお天気は優しい風が入ってくるその部屋。窓を開ければ日の光が反射してキラキラ光る海が見えます。潮の香りのする風に包まれながら、私はささやかな広さのベランダに出て空を見上げるんです。そうしてあまりの空の青さに私は 絶望します。この家にはいつだって死の匂いが満ちています。それは誰のせいでもない私が発する匂いです。お医者様からは絶対に治らないって言われました。私はすぐに死ぬことはないだろうけど、この苦しみと闘病生活は一生続くんです。普通の生活には二度と戻れないんです。それでも最初はこの家にも笑い声が絶えませんでした。お父さんもお母さんも私のことを第一に考えてくれました。そのために家だって改築したくらいです。私はそれが嬉しくて嬉しくて、ずっとここで暮らしたいって心の底から思いました。でもそう思っていたのは私だけでした。そのうちお父さんはこの家にほとんど顔を出さなくなりました。しばらくしてお母さんからお父さんはもう二度と戻ってこないって教えられました。あの人は逃げたんだって、卑怯者だって、そう話すお母さんは悔しそうでした。そんなお母さんも何かあるとすぐに、何もなくてもたまにもう疲れたって言うようになりました。気がつけばお母さんも笑わなくなっていたんです。ある夜、私が寝ていたらお母さんが部屋に入ってきて私の首を絞めました。驚いて逃げようとしたらお母さんは泣いていました。ごめんなさいとばかり言っていました。そうして次の日からお母さんは私の顔を見ようとしなくなったんです。食事の時間以外はふらりとどこかに出かけていくことが増えました。きっとこのままお父さんみたいに戻ってこなくなるんだろうなって、そんな予感はしました。この広い家に私は一人ぼっちです。それでもお母さんにずっといてほしいとは言えません。だって私の病気のせいでお父さんは逃げ出したんだから。なのにお母さんだけを引き止めるなんてできません。お母さんはお父さんよりもずっと私の病気のせいで犠牲になっています。むしろ私の方から消えた方がいいんじゃないかって思ったくらいです。私さえいなくなれば私の病気でお母さんが疲れることももうなくなるんですから。
悲しいね。
誰ですか？私のために泣いてくれるあなたは誰？
How very ominous.
モーターの側はね、基本的にガンツク1に使ったものを流用するの。
Seems that there is more to the story of Airi, Kimijima, and Misaki Senomiya than I had originally thought. But that is a mystery that will have to wait until later. So when we return, adventurers, it seems that Akio is pushing forward with getting Gunbuild 2 on track in time for the Tokyo Expo. As always, until next we meet,